The world moves as if nothing has changed. Markets rise, wars flicker on screens, and the sky burns crimson at dusk. But somewhere beneath the noise, a whisper runs through creation. Something is approaching. Few hear it. Fewer still understand what it means. It begins not with thunder, but with silence, the kind of silence that holds its breath before the storm. Prophets once spoke of days like these, when men would call darkness light and light darkness, when truth would bend to comfort and hearts would grow cold. We see it now, in cities that never sleep, in churches that echo with empty words, in hearts weary of waiting. Yet Scripture warned us. In the last days, scoffers will come, saying, "Where is the promise of his coming?" They mock the waiting. They mock the watchers. But heaven does not forget. The final sign may not be thunder across the heavens. It may be quieter, something already here, hidden in plain sight. A pattern repeating since the dawn of time. Long before the flood, humanity lived as though forever would never end. Then, in an instant, the door closed. Long before fire fell on Sodom, laughter filled the night. Then the dawn revealed flames. History does not just repeat, it warns. But few understood what came next. When Jesus spoke of the fig tree blooming, he wasn't merely speaking of a plant. He was pointing to a people. A nation reborn in a single day. Israel, 1948. A seed long buried, sprouting against all odds. And from that moment, a prophetic clock began to tick again. Every war, every shaking, every rising shadow is not chaos. It's choreography. But there is one sign that feels different, a convergence. When signs no longer come in sequence, but overlap like storm clouds gathering from every horizon. Earthquakes beneath cities, hearts failing from fear, a digital tower of Babel rising higher each year, data becoming God, and silence becoming rare. Even now, knowledge explodes, yet wisdom starves. And somewhere, heaven whispers, "Watch!" And maybe that is our own hidden battle. Because the final sign is not only out there, it may be in here. The sign of indifference. The sign of hearts too busy to look up. The sign of faith replaced by comfort. For Scripture says, "When the Son of Man returns, will he find faith on the earth?" The question was never about the sky, it was about the soul. Pattern interrupt, shift tone. Imagine for a moment, a world where the trumpet sounds not with noise, but recognition. Where those who have watched all along simply vanish from the storm, not in fear, but fulfillment. For them, it is not surprise, it is reunion. For the rest, it will be revelation too late. But what if the final sign has already begun? When lawlessness grows bold, when good is punished and evil applauded, when love turns cold and deception wears the crown of truth. These are not random trends. They are coordinates. Even nature groans. Rivers drying, seasons trembling, stars veiled in smoke. And beneath it all, something holy still holds. Mercy, patience, one more invitation. Perhaps that's the true sign. The pause before the trumpet. A divine hesitation born of love. God is not slow, he is merciful. He delays not out of weakness, but out of compassion, that one more soul might awaken before the door closes. But how do we see it? Look not to the noise, but the pattern. Look not to fear, but alignment. Look not to dates, but direction. For when every prophecy thread begins to tighten, when every warning finds its echo, the tapestry is nearly complete. And maybe this is what the prophets longed to see, a generation standing on the edge of fulfillment. The same sun that rose over Eden now burns over a world in twilight. Yet even in this hour, grace still glows, not as a flicker, but a flame. When the final sign appears, it will not need explanation. Heaven will move, and time will fold like a curtain. The world will call it sudden. The faithful will call it home. The final sign may not be written in the stars or shouted from the clouds. It may already be written on the human heart, waiting for the moment it finally remembers heaven.